November exposes the truth. Secrets crack open and trauma bonds break. But this month isn't about what's ending. That was eclipse season. The focus is who you become next. October brought you face-to-face with eclipse fallouts. Now in November, you'll uncover the why. Relationships will be tested. Money and family matters will also come to a head. You have choices to make. The point is to protect what matters and let go of what's stressing you out. Welcome to Astro ROI. This month, Venus and Jupiter push limits on trust. Uranus is flipping tables. Mars won't go down without a fight. Mercury will have you double checking everything. The Taurus supermoon asks, how much is enough? And the Scorpio New Moon reminds us that respect can be commanded, not demanded. Before I share forecasts for each zodiac sign, I'll walk you through the big astrology for November, share real life and historic examples, and show you how these changes are playing out in my life so you know you're not alone. There are timestamps below, and I always welcome your comments and your feedback. To keep things top of mind, I also post highlight reels for each sign and event throughout the month. You can watch them here and on Instagram at Astro Coach Kate. But first, I have a new backdrop. Overnight, I packed checks into the Mini and we road trip to ... undisclosed location, but it's warmer here. And this is part of a much bigger story unfolding in my life. I'm sure you're feeling your eclipse shakeups too. For me, Uranus keeps tossing unexpected changes, but this stubborn bull finally lifted her hooves and I'm along for the ride now. So let's take a look at my chart. 6 months ago, under the solar eclipse in Aries, I set intentions to live somewhere safe, where Chex, the Dalmatian, could be happy and healthy, and I could keep practicing astrology. Now, the Aries full moon in October landed in my 12th house of hidden talents and spiritual retreats, just as I arrived in paradise. Watch the highlight reels this month. I'm going to show you around a little bit. It really does feel like living on vacation. I've also connected with a community of astrologers and energy healers, something I didn't have back in New York, so that's great. Now, looking closer, my ascendant's positive aspects landed right on my IC line, highlighting interpersonal connections. I'm here as the guest of a close friend. And the vertex, fated encounters in Sagittarius, travel and adventure, is moving through my 7th house of committed partnerships. The lot of fortune in Aquarius is sitting in my career zone. This means health, wealth, and success through innovation. And trust me, I am doing my best. So at the same time, the sun in Libra was fueling my natal Pluto in the 6th house of routines. I completely changed my work environment and schedule after the eclipse shakeups to seize this new opportunity. I'm not isolated anymore. I'm surrounded by new faces and new places. Pluto is changing my outlook, and Libra is helping me form healthy relationships. Now, a full moon in Aries in the 12th could have gone in a completely different direction. And if I stayed where I was, I'm sure it would have. So I am proof that astrology is about fate and free will. I worked with the positive aspects and I chose to step out of the shadows and into a new adventure. I can thank Uranus, conjunct my sun and ascendant for that. I was forced to make the change. Now, let's look at the new moon in Libra on October 21st. This one was a little tougher. It happened in my 6th house of work, health, and daily responsibilities. Also, pets. Chex is a happy and healthy 11-year-old Dalmatian, but he doesn't like to brush his teeth and he needed a cleaning. So I had to work with a new vet, and over the next 6 months, I am committed to a new regimen for his care. Now, I know that doesn't sound so tough. So of course, let's dig a little deeper. This new moon opposed heavy placements in my private 12th house, things I tend to keep under wraps. Chex is my best friend. He's my baby boy, Venus, and I'm very active with him, Mars. We do a lot of community service work, even on our walks. If someone wants to meet him, take a picture with him, we make the time, Mercury. But the situation for the teeth cleaning involved a blood test to see if, as a senior dog, he could have anesthesia. And this triggered a sore spot, Chiron. It's really hard to imagine life without him, the sun. Now, there was also a square to Jupiter in Cancer in my 3rd house of neighborhoods. the change of environment, this new heat, and the new friends, people and dogs, have been a lot for him. And I confess that I have been over-bothering him, Cancer. His teeth issues stained his beautiful white face, and when I tried to treat it, I made it worse. He was also really anxious at the vet. He didn't want to leave my side. There was a little pee-pee involved, and now, of course, that I told you that, I'm in the doghouse. But now, on the positive side, the moon's conjunction to the sun, a lot of fortune, ascendant, natal vertex, and Pluto resulted in a surge of fresh energy, creative bursts, and restored health. Yoga on the Pier has been a beautiful addition to my routine, and my readiness and sleep scores have also been optimal. My resilience to stress is exceptional and on the rise, and my cardiovascular age is years lower than my actual age. So lastly, there was a trine to my natal moon and a lot of fortune in Aquarius in my 10th house of career. Good things are happening, and it all feels connected to embracing change and pushing forward. Okay, so here's the energy at play in November. I posted the dates, times, and degrees in the description if you want to pull your birth charts. If you'd like to become an astrologer, there's also a 10% off link to Luna Astrology software. And if you'd like me to use your personal data, I have new 60-minute readings available and 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages for continued support. Again, I hope you enjoy the highlight reels for each zodiac sign and major events throughout the month. You can find them here and on Instagram. Following these channels, clicking on the notification bell is the best way to stay in the know. I'm working on something special to help everyone beat the holiday stress and cravings. I'm also chipping away at your 2026 horoscopes. So now, here's a little taste of what's happening in November. November starts off on a tense note. Secrets surface and emotions get deep when Venus in Libra squares Jupiter in Cancer. Maybe you catch your partner texting someone, or you find out they're spending money behind your back. It stings more because it breaks trusts and feels like a betrayal. You're going to start to get suspicious just before Halloween. Then the energy peaks on November 2nd, leaving you unraveled for a few days. This energy is raw, and with Chiron involved, it reopens old wounds. Or maybe you dive into a whirlwind romance or business deal. It feels great, but you barely know this person. So when their mask slips, reality hits. It's a bubble burst, and you feel foolish, almost like you've been scammed, and that hurts. Now, on a macro level, movements like Walk With Us for the Cure Lupus will capture people's generosity. The Lupus Research Alliance has already raised $46 million, but even big-hearted campaigns risk donor burnout. You might feel stretched while still wanting to do more. The cardinal signs are going to feel this most: Libra, Cancer, Aries, and Capricorn, especially if you have placements between 10 to 15 degrees of those signs. Now, Venus also rules food, so the square could mean overindulgence. Jupiter, which doesn't feel good, Cancer, but you ate what you ate and you drank what you drank, likely to cope. Chiron, with a love or money matter that doesn't seem fair, Libra. Whatever your scenario, remember, too much of a good thing can backfire, so read labels, ask questions, and vet sources. Also know any truths uncovered could trigger rebellious responses. Mars in Sagittarius demands freedom in action, but Uranus in Gemini wants to resolve issues that have lingered for months. This energy hits hardest on November 5th when the planets oppose each other at a critical 0 degrees. On one side, someone will fiercely defend their beliefs about money, travel, politics, or religion, and they won't back down. But on the other side, someone's not having it. Prepare for sudden explosions if you push them too hard. For example, if your spouse crosses the line one more time, or your business partner tries to justify shady expenses, you'll call them out. You might set an ultimatum or launch a full financial audit. Now, the saving graces are Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. You can settle long-standing disputes as long as you state your case calmly and don't react impulsively. The question is, will you see it their way or look at them differently? The answer is important as the month continues, because that night, the supermoon in Taurus suggests a turning point or ending. The ruler is Venus, love, money and values, which in Taurus seeks stability, comfort, and security. If a hard truth makes you feel disrespected, manipulated, or unsafe financially or emotionally, you'll dig your hooves in to protect yourself. You've come too far. Think back to the Taurus new moon in April. Did you start budgeting or planning something? This is what you'll want to safeguard. Now I'm a Taurus stellium. Cyber harassment and gang stalking shattered my world, but astrology became my refuge. I rebuilt my safety from the ground up, and through my life experiences, I now help people recover from betrayal, loss, and trauma. This has been my focus over the last 6 months, and I'm not backing down. Now ask, what are you holding onto? Is it out of love or pride? I say this because the moon opposes the sun in Scorpio. This is a dance between holding on Taurus and letting go Scorpio. Neptune retrograde in Pisces also needs you to see the past for what it is and not fixate on the potential. So if your partner has debt, you might help them manage their finances. If they have a fear of abandonment, words need to match actions to help them feel safe. Or if these responsibilities are too much, you just need to be honest. Venus is still in Libra. She wants equal give and take in relationships. Whatever you choose, trust it's for the best. Why? The nodes of fate are involved. You can't fix them, Virgo, but you can show compassion, Pisces, even if that means saying, I understand, I'm sorry, I can't. Anyone with Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, or Libra placements around 13 degrees will feel this most. Pisces and Virgo, you'll also be influenced by the nodes. This is a very karmic year for you in your relationships. So treat the supermoon like a gut check. If you feel safe, proceed with caution. Otherwise, don't mess with the bull. Now, with Uranus on the move, on November 7th, the planet of shock and awe makes a rare and final return to Taurus. Uranus has been in Gemini since July. It pushed you to think, speak, and move quickly. Now back in Taurus, it will complete a 7-year upheaval to security and values. Your questions: is this safe? Is it valuable? Can it go the distance? Looking back, the last Uranus retrograde in Taurus was August 2019 to January 2020. There was a global push to change agriculture, food production, and natural resources. My partners and I were working with the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority on clean energy accelerators for women in technology, and our VC firm was raising money to invest in SaaS and supply chain companies. Today, the partnership continues, and some of these founders are changing the world with their solutions. Globally, the Me Too movement gained momentum. Women had been speaking out for years, but in 2019 and 2020, we saw new policy reforms and leadership programs. And when this retrograde happened in the 30s, there were financial reforms during the Great Depression. When Uranus went direct, the FDIC stabilized our banking system. Social Security became a revolutionary safety net, and the New Deal reform implemented innovations in agriculture and soil conservation to protect our farmland and preserve nutrients. So think about it. While valuable, Taurus, those systems need to be rebuilt, retrograde, and this means change, Uranus, from now until February. Now, in order to rework relationships or systems, you need a mental reset. This leads us to Mercury retrograde, first in Sagittarius, big picture thinking, then in Scorpio, trusting your instincts. This is a loaded transit, and the astrology is complicated, so I'm going to give you the takeaway immediately. Get your head on straight before making major decisions. When Mercury retrogrades in Sagittarius, you'll reconsider your life direction. Ask if you're doing whatever for the right reasons. Since disagreements are likely, avoid saying or putting anything in writing that you'll regret. Neptune wants you to flow, not fight. Remember this when Mercury retrogrades into Scorpio mid-month. Conversations get intense. Now ask, can you trust this person or situation? You could get your answer on the 19th during the Cazimi. Focus on how people respond to your ideas. And while better than last year, Thanksgiving is another day for tough talks. Saturn and Neptune are the assists. They'll help you focus on unfinished business, even if there are delays or disagreements. By December, you'll be mentally exhausted, but you'll know what to do. While Mercury retrograde will have you rethinking all the things, Jupiter, the planet of big possibilities, will also go retrograde in Cancer on November 11th to help you heal from the past so you can put new plans in motion. Now, since June, Jupiter has been expanding your home life. You were likely focused on the positives: a roof over your head, food on the table, and being grateful for life's simple comforts. Amazing. Now Jupiter asks for some soul searching, and you need to go by feel. Ask, is your living situation emotionally and physically safe? Do you laugh more than you fight? What generational baggage have you carried into your home? Now, globally, we'll revisit themes from 2013 to 14. Expect a national focus on housing security, family leave policies, and healthcare reform. Interesting. On October 18th, millions gathered to show the world that America has no kings and that the power belongs to the people. This is a safety protest designed to educate people about their rights and teach them how to de-escalate situations. Now, Saturn and Neptune will once again be the steady waters if you lead with compassion. But with Chiron giving Jupiter the side eye, you'll feel the weight of family or societal responsibilities, like carrying more than your share. If you have planets between 15 and 25 degrees of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or Aries, this will hit even closer to home. The retrograde lasts until mid-March, then Jupiter moves into Leo. June is when life gets fun again. So mend fences now so you and yours can enjoy life to the fullest in 2026. Until then, look for the bright spots if you are feeling drained from family or societal responsibilities. On November 16th, the Sun in Scorpio trines Jupiter retrograde in Cancer at 25 degrees. You might be recovering from a cold or injury, and someone recommends a holistic treatment. If your car is running on empty, your spouse or roommate could fill up the tank without you asking. If you've been at odds about who's responsible for what around the house, your kid could step up. This day is a reminder that despite the retrograde madness, there is generosity and opportunity around every corner. Even if it's a simple gesture, the intent makes it meaningful. So take note, these moments will keep your heart open when faced with difficult decisions throughout the month. Because a fresh start is around the corner. Scorpio season is always intense. It's a time when you uncover what's hidden beneath the surface. But on November 20th, there's a new moon in Scorpio. Its purpose is to renew emotional and financial security over the next 6 months, especially with Venus nearby. Set intentions on how you value yourself and prioritize your resources, time, money, and energy. The nodes of destiny are involved, so expect fated moments. Just watch for tension from Mars, which is squaring the nodes. You can command respect, but you cannot demand it. Remember, Pluto is now direct in Aquarius and still in a positive aspect to Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Mercury and the Sun in Scorpio. It's helping you navigate tension for the greater good. This combination calls out leaders. Systematic corruption will be exposed. You're sick of lip service and power plays, right? You want real reforms for social justice, privacy, and economic inequality. Even if it means facing difficult truths, honesty makes way for new beginnings. I know I'm sick of the lies. So if you're a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, or have any placements near 28 degrees, you're going to feel this fresh start most. Ask, what truth have you been avoiding about yourself or someone else? And what's more important, proving a point or finally feeling at peace? Okay, we've got one more major event to discuss before it's time for your horoscopes. Here's a recap for November. Secrets are revealed. Outbursts are likely. You'll retreat to think about your needs and set new goals around trust and respect. Now on November 30th, Venus will trine Neptune retrograde in Pisces at the zodiac's last degree. This is not your typical Venus-Neptune lovey-dovey moment. It's change or combust. With Venus opposing Uranus retrograde in Taurus, there will also be a surprise twist, like a sudden shift in relationships or finances. I believe we'll see breakthroughs in issues that need more heart and less stigma. I hope this means more access to treatment and community support for mental health, addiction and homelessness, a collective shift towards empathy in tough times, genuine help for unseen struggles. Now, Taurus, Libra, Scorpio, and Pisces, you're going to feel this most, especially if you have major placements between 25 and 29 degrees. So from late November through early December, your heart will catch up with your head. Finally, some relationships deepen, others will fade as trauma bonds break. Now onto your horoscopes. I'm a Western astrologer using the whole house system based on rising signs. Listen to that first, then your sun and moon for extra value, especially with the Taurus full moon kicking off these lovely Venus transits and the Scorpio new moon leaving us a surprise gift as we wrap up Scorpio season. I'm using Luna astrology software. If you'd like 10% off Luna, there's a link in the description. And if you'd like a personal reading or ongoing coaching, my Stan store has all the details. Aries, November starts with awkward silence. Maybe a relationship or business deal feels off because you don't know how much time or money you can commit. At home, a family member might need your attention, but you're trying to book travel or finish coursework. You'll have to balance it all while wondering what's worth it. Take a time out to consider the possibilities instead of hiding in your room. Now, a slow burn approach is best when Uranus retrogrades through Taurus. Money could suddenly flow in or out. Think about where you can come back, especially if your social life is costing too much or a professional network isn't producing enough leads. The good news is a friend or colleague might offer an unexpected solution. So don't be stubborn. Use what resonates, pocket the rest, and keep networking. Now, I know over the last 6 months, you've been working hard to save, invest, or change your relationship with money. Now on November 5th, during the supermoon in Taurus, check your progress. If your account is flush, buy low, sell high, or book a vacation to unwind. You could also hire a personal trainer. Ask your partner to join you. It will help cement the relationship. Just get travel insurance and beware of cancellation policies when Mercury starts its retrograde on the 9th. You might think you hit the book now button, but a tech glitch or extra step might prove otherwise. This oversight could either cost you more or stir up a weird trust issue, like your partner accusing you of not wanting to go on the trip in the first place. Be patient when clearing up misunderstandings. November is all about getting back on track, especially with Jupiter putting the focus on your home life. Maybe you pause a move or renovation to think about how the change will affect your future. Some of you are taking care of elderly parents. They might move in, or you could research senior living centers. This may have you thinking about mortality. But now, until November, is less about doing and more about gently preparing for what's next, which is why we need to talk about the new moon in Scorpio on November 20th. It impacts your shared resources, including taxes, debt, and inheritances, as well as intimate issues like trust, sex, and death. Now, I've been through this. It's difficult. You could feel appreciative if you're suddenly gifted something, but also guilty or sad if it comes with a loss, like an inheritance after death or alimony after infidelity. Even if you don't share the details with your friends, they are your biggest support system right now. By the end of the month, Venus will soften relationship and money matters. Neptune will help empathy and kindness flow easier. This is when you could settle a financial dispute with a love or business partner or receive a loan or tax reimbursement. Again, friends and colleagues will inspire and heal. They'll restore your hope in the future. So Aries, for the majority of November, you'll be focused on shared resources, time, money, and energy. Here are some suggestions. Set one financial boundary without guilt. Revisit one important conversation with patience. Lean on trusted friends and colleagues, and every day write down what really matters. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Taurus, November starts with a bit of a squeeze. Venus and Jupiter are pressure testing your schedule. You might be at odds with a coworker. Stress could lead to burnout. Even pet care might stretch you thin. These disruptions will impact conversations with relatives or neighbors or hinder a media project. Underneath, you're sorting through issues with family money, shared bills, or trust. You'll try to focus on your to-do list, but unexpected calls, texts, emails from friends or colleagues will distract you. The question is, how much can you realistically handle before something has to give? Use the first week to decide what and who deserves your attention, because Uranus isn't done with you yet. Only now, the shakeup should feel less chaotic and more profound. Over the coming months, you'll continue to reinvent yourself. As you let go of your old life, you're going to make room for new opportunities in your career or status, like changing your job title or last name. At times, the pace may feel frustrating, even for your slow and steady sign, but your hard work will continue to pay off. In fact, the supermoon in Taurus on November 5th is the perfect time to check your progress. Pay attention to how you feel. Over the last 6 months, have you been sleeping better? Is this because you kept to a schedule or fitness plan? If so, keep going. Only now, don't fly solo. Research co-working spaces, join group classes, and continue to streamline projects if there's more busy work than profits, because there will be misunderstandings over shared finances when Mercury retrogrades on November 9th. Specifically, a loan, settlement, or commission could get delayed, and this will lead to intense conversations with partners, romantic or business. You might also second guess yourself. Maybe you'll want to invest in a business, start dating, or save for tuition, but there's some kind of mental roadblock. When Jupiter retrogrades, you need to find new ways to cope and heal from a financial setback or betrayal. Instead of hiring pricey developers, learn AI. If you're feeling suffocated, work from a cafe. If you hear crickets from your go-to contacts, join an online community. You get what I'm saying? There are still opportunities. You just have to think differently about your approach, and collaboration is the way forward. The Scorpio New Moon on November 20th lands in your house of partnerships and contracts. Yes, with an opposition to Uranus in your sign, a commitment could feel sudden, like unexpected chemistry. You might meet someone at a party, or a friend could make an introduction that changes your career direction or social status. As long as you can let go of a solo vision over the next 6 months, you can build on a shared dream. By the end of the month, Venus trine Neptune will soften the edges. Approach relationships with compassion and creativity. When you don't feel like you're carrying the weight of the world, your stress levels will drop too. There is no need for grand gestures. Small acts of kindness to yourself and others will strengthen your friendships, sharpen your goals, and potentially make you more money. So Taurus, to avoid burnout in November, choose real connection over obligation. Here's some suggestions. Say no to one request that drains you. Reconnect with a friend who makes you feel hopeful. Cut one unnecessary cost to ease financial stress, and schedule self-care daily. Even 10 minutes of quiet or movement will help. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Gemini, at the top of November, you'll need to balance your public and private life. Venus in Libra is great for dating, projects, and playtime with your kids, but the square to Jupiter in Cancer means that fun comes at a cost. Maybe your partner doesn't agree with what you're spending, or your work responsibilities make it difficult to enjoy your time off. There's some kind of roadblock, so ask, where do you get the best payoff? Then focus on that, because it's no secret that over the last few months, Uranus has been setting off fireworks in your life. Now, as the planet of unexpected change moves back into Taurus, you'll at least be able to catch your breath. While this transit is relatively short in comparison to the 7 years it will spend in your sign, Use the retrograde to adjust to the changes. This is the behind the scenes work, but you don't have to do it alone. A mentor, therapist, or astrologer can help you make peace with the past. And if you can go on a trip overseas or maybe do a course in miracles, those are great ways to deal with whatever bubbles up. Because the full moon in Taurus on November 5th comes with a culmination, turning point, or ending in your private life. If you've been hiding pain tied to a breakup, failed project, or a disagreement with your kids, you're going to need to rip the band-aid off. Since the nodes of destiny are involved, show your career some love and stop micromanaging at home. Sometimes the best solution is to let them. Even if your inner work is not recognized or appreciated, being honest in your relationships is a must when Mercury goes retrograde. If your task list is never ending and your schedule has you running in circles, you're going to need to ask your partner for help. Maybe you're consumed by housework or a colleague starts missing deadlines. So use Notion or Airtable to divide up tasks equally so you can have better work-life balance by December. Now, sharing responsibilities may feel unsettling as Jupiter retrogrades through Cancer, but the point is self-worth. You are more than what you have and what you can do for people. But if you feel like your paycheck doesn't reflect your job description, now's the time to ask for a raise. If you're a stay-at-home parent and you feel guilty taking time for yourself, this is your lesson to learn. Just go research the cost of a personal chef, grocery delivery, house cleaner, and daycare. Your contributions are worth hundreds of thousands a year, and you don't get sick days, holidays, and time off, right? So this awareness will help you set new intentions under the new moon in Scorpio on November 20th. Remember, new moons turn into full moons in 6 months, and that's when we collect the fruits of our labor. So your intentions could sound like, I'm so thankful that I made time for myself. I replaced smoking or drinking with hot yoga and journaling, and that vacation to Bermuda was epic. I'm happier and healthier than I've been in years. I've revived my career, or I love being a stay-at-home parent. By the end of the month, you'll see how small changes to your schedule will improve your mental health. You'll sleep better, and you'll feel your zest for life return. Continue to introduce more healthy habits into your career role as a parent. Your new routines will benefit your relationships, personal and business. So Gemini, November asks you to face blocks without losing sight of your dreams. So here's some suggestions. Say no to at least one event or idea that exhausts you. Revisit one old conversation or contract with fresh eyes. Take at least 10 minutes a day for peace and quiet, and reach out to one person who sees your efforts. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Cancer, November starts with a push-pull between your home and your social life. When Venus squares Jupiter, your family needs extra attention, or your friends are going to have a different political belief. It's okay to take a beat. Focus on your own bucket list. Maybe it's time for a vacation. If you're an entrepreneur, join a mastermind or an accelerator. We are the company we keep, and when Uranus retrogrades back into Taurus, you'll be thinking long and hard about how your friendships or your professional goals impact your bottom line. Any IOUs or situationships need refinement. The root source might be a fear of commitment, either not trusting their sincerity or not trusting that you can make it on your own. So the full moon in Taurus will call even more attention to this area. Ask, how does your social life impact your home or family responsibilities? Are you burning the candle at both ends? If late nights make it hard to flip smiley pancakes in the morning, it's time to say goodbye to some local connections or hotspots and prioritize, especially when Mercury goes retrograde. Your schedule and daily routines are going to get an overhaul. Are you making time to walk the dog or go to the gym? Are you able to meet your work deadlines? Underneath, there's some kind of self-sabotage, like procrastination or partying too hard. Maybe you've just started dating someone and they're pulling your attention. This could also be about kids, an e-commerce business, or online gambling. So when Jupiter retrogrades in your sign, focus on your pets, work, and health. Our daily habits shape our life direction. Even if you don't know where you want to head yet, you know you can't stay here. Travel, education, or regular sessions with a life coach can help you see the bigger picture. Now, the main point will become clear on November 20th during the new moon in Scorpio. You want romance, your own business, time for your kids, or just to have fun in general. But again, the opposition to Uranus says there's a block. Your social life might be keeping you out, or maybe you're not generating enough profits to cover a business loan. Uranus does rule your house of debt, trust, and secrets. So again, travel, education, or a mentor will help. Now, by the end of the month, Venus will lift your spirits. This is when fun, friends, and family are going to click. Neptune still has you dreaming about a vacation, master's degree, or even how you can use your life lessons to help others. So this is important. If you've struggled with burnout or addiction, should you join or create a group? Do you need to draw a line in the sand with your coworkers? Maybe happy hours are resulting in too much water cooler chatter. Or you might just need to spend more time at the dog park. My dog's my best friend. He listens without judgment and he loves me unconditionally. So Cancer, November asks you to balance friendships, family, and self-care. Here are some suggestions. Prioritize one family or home task without distraction. Clear up a misunderstanding with a friend or colleague. Walk at least 30 minutes every day, and bonus if you have a furry sidekick. And find new ways to make dating or a side project fun again. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Leo, November starts with mixed signals. Your neighbors or your social feed will have you rolling your eyes when Venus squares Jupiter. Construction might detour your commute. You could like a post that upsets your partner. Whatever the case, you'll want to escape. Maybe you pull the plug on a project or cancel a date, especially if you're not feeling it to begin with. Either it costs too much or you don't trust that it can go the distance. So when Uranus retrogrades, you'll reconsider your career or social status. You might move to a new department, renegotiate a contract, or drop a curfew on your kids. The change will be sudden, but also a long time coming. The purpose is self-awareness. Ask, what and who do you want to commit to? The Taurus full moon on November 5th could reveal the answer. You've been rebuilding your career, social status, or role as a parent for 6 months. Everyone's probably had an opinion too, from your sister to the male person. Now the nodes of fate are involved. You could launch a truth bomb. You might also pay off a debt, even if it drains your bank account, because you want it to be done with. Now, take care of unfinished business before Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th. Bringing your date to your ex's favorite spot is not a good look. Neither is risking your paycheck, especially now that you're debt-free. Now, on the home front, your kids could push back against your curfew, or your friends might razz you about being MIA, whatever. You're either protecting your money or peace of mind. And peace is exactly what Jupiter retrograde wants you to have. Whether you privately enjoy cuffing season with your boo, or close the blinds to go head down on a project, or make the time to read to your kids at bedtime, congratulations. Those are the higher vibrations of this energy. Now, if you're drinking yourself to sleep or gambling your life savings, it will catch up to you when Jupiter goes direct. So instead, use the Scorpio New Moon on November 20th to start a new chapter in your home life. Given the opposition to Uranus, sudden changes to your career or status are likely, but again, you've been mulling them over for a while. So maybe you propose, become a parent or grandparent, retire, or someone moves in and out. Any scenario will impact your relationships, romantic or business. You'll either merge or detangle shared expenses. So as the month closes, your home life might still be intense, but you'll feel more hopeful about consolidating or separating joint assets when Venus trines Neptune retrograde. With the financial wiggle room, you could move, renovate, or run ads for your online business. Whatever makes you happy is where you want to take the risk. So Leo, in November, your home life might impact your financial or emotional security, but you have all the tools to handle it. Here's some suggestions. Take one partnership contract or debt off of your plate. Revisit a family or home issue with patience. Gift yourself quiet moments every day to recharge, and don't blow financial padding. Spend it on a passion. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Virgo, November opens with a catch-22. You have opportunities to socialize and network, but there is a financial block. Maybe you're fundraising for a startup, saving for a vacation, or applying for a student loan. When Venus squares Jupiter, you're going to feel the pinch. An investor could pull back, your partner can't pay their half, or your parents are going to fall short on the deposit. Your challenge is to balance big goals with daily realities. Expect even more slowdowns when Uranus retrogrades into Taurus. There will still be unexpected shifts with ventures, travel, or education, only now they'll impact your schedule, work, or health, and I get it. You've been focused on the big picture for years, but if someone shuts the light off, your vision won't disappear, you'll just need to work in the dark, aka work with the unknown. And this might get stressful, so again, this is about managing daily realities. As soon as the Taurus full moon hits on November 5th, you'll know who's in or out. You might give the investor more equity, dip into your savings to book the vacation, or write a personal check to cover the first semester's tuition. The North Node calls for self-awareness and commitment. The South Node in your sign needs you to let go of an old story or life direction. Even if this results in an ending or turning point you've been trying to avoid, trust in divine timing. Independence is your mission. So when Mercury, your ruler, goes retrograde, you'll need a new game plan. Start by reconnecting with your family. Maybe you've been so focused on your career that you've lost sight of what your kids are watching online, or this could have to do with your parents. When was the last time you checked in? Mercury is again your ruler, so you know the drill. Miscommunications are likely, but at least make an effort. Next, refresh your contact list. There are other investors, friends who make great travel companions, and plenty of side hustles that can bring in extra cash. In fact, this is a great time to build a home-based business, family business, or get your realtor's license. Any scenario could involve a partner, so make sure to have an operating agreement, profit and loss statement, and get your compensation structure in writing, because the Scorpio New Moon opens a 6-month window for sales and marketing. Again, this could be about an online business with a relative. Yes, there's an opposition to Uranus, so those big picture goals, entrepreneurship, travel, and education we discussed might suddenly be put on the back burner, and this could make you feel a certain way. But the trine to Saturn and Neptune means getting serious about a dream. Whether you commit to a partner or marketplace, you'll need to go all in or let it all go. Now, by the end of the month, when Venus trines Neptune retrograde, you could feel so excited about the new project or partnership that you completely forget what you left behind to pursue it. So get obsessed. You could be selling million-dollar listings in no time or living in one. So Virgo, in November, you'll likely trade a goal for a dream. Here are some suggestions. Deepen one social or business connection. Prioritize a move, renovation, or family commitment. Spend at least 10 minutes every day writing out your plans and learn the latest in digital marketing or online sales. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Libra, November opens with hyper focus on what you want to be known for. How you dress and what you say, however, might conflict with your career or public image. You could struggle with a loss. It's possible a contract goes sideways and you feel it more because you were counting on that money to pay off debt. Or your car or laptop is on its last leg and now you have to deal with the expense and inconvenience. This interrupts your schedule or makes it more difficult to heal. Even minor disagreements with your colleagues could send you over the edge when Venus in Libra squares Jupiter. Now, as Uranus moves back into Taurus, you'll revisit money and love issues. You could unexpectedly rethink a loan or see a relationship from a different perspective, like if someone has been financially manipulative or withholding affection as a form of control. Proceed with caution. Time always uncovers the truth, so don't be impulsive. Serial dating or gambling to recoup what you lost are band-aids. Now, the Taurus supermoon on November 5th will bring a significant turning point or ending. Again, if you've been trying to pay off debt or heal from betrayal over the last 6 months, this is when you'll want to bless and release. Since the nodes of fate are involved, focus on your work and your health and avoid vices like drinking or oversleeping to numb the pain. Now, when Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th, you could dust off a contract or media project, get a new vehicle, or rethink your neighborhood, including the people you hang out with, especially if your opinions on politics or religion differ. Even if there are delays or misunderstandings, as soon as you make these changes, your attention will go towards your finances. Since Mercury rules your private 12th house, you'll want to save or spend on healing activities like yoga retreats over quick fixes like doom scrolling, because soon after Jupiter goes retrograde, just when you were gaining momentum in your career or feeling optimistic about parenting, now you'll reconsider if you're on the right path. Think back to the top of the month. There was some kind of conflict. Now you'll need to address it. This could be tied to self-employment, like quitting your 9-to-5 to pursue an online business, or if you're in sales, does your commute to the office actually make sense? Don't share too much with your coworkers until you have a solid strategy, and continue to keep an eye on your health and schedule. Time is money. Which brings us to the Scorpio New Moon on November 20th. It activates your money tree, so set intentions around what you want to earn and how you want to save by the full moon next May, especially given the opposition to Uranus in your house of debt, loans, and taxes, which is also connected to small business, kids, and romance. This is where the sudden changes will continue, so it's important not to overspend on pleasure. Stick to your schedule, burn off steam at the gym, and catch up on doctor's appointments. So by the end of the month, Venus and Neptune retrograde will help relieve financial anxiety or trust issues. You're ruled by Venus, so if you've kept up with your health routines, you'll benefit even more. This is when you'll see how much toxic coworkers, neighbors, or even relatives impact your stress levels. Use the energy to write down your thoughts or talk to trusted sources about the secrets you've been carrying. So Libra, November is heavy when it comes to finances and your health. Here are some suggestions. Take care of one financial detail or contract you've been avoiding. Step back to heal old work or relationship wounds. Bake self-care into your daily routines and use creative outlets like writing, dancing, or photography to relieve anxiety. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Scorpio, at the top of November, you'll likely be healing from heartache, or a business loss. You'll want to recover in private, like hop on a plane to an undisclosed location. I get it. It's possible the separation had to do with the difference in opinion, maybe politics, religion, or marriage, or if you're an entrepreneur, your mission statement. You want to do well by doing good or live your life a certain way, but your partner might not see the world through your eyes. Now, when Uranus retrogrades back into Taurus, you'll revisit your one-on-one relationships, love, business, service providers, anyone with a contractual tie. If it's personal, the focus could be on if this person makes you feel comfortable in your home. If it's business, the question is, are responsibilities split fairly so you can enjoy your downtime? The Taurus supermoon does signal a turning point, culmination, or ending in a partnership or contract. If you need a power nap to recover, take it, but you can't hide under the covers. Thankfully, the nodes of fate are at play. Pisces calls for self-love, play golf, take your kids apple picking, or work with a therapist or astrologer to unpack relationship baggage. What you don't want to do is party all night with your friends or vent to your colleagues about a deal gone bad. Either will cost you money and delay healing. This is especially important with Mercury retrograde backtracking through your money zone. Expect intense talks or renegotiations that impact both your personal finances and your shared expenses. The purpose is to relieve anxiety connected to love or money. Friends and colleagues might offer advice, loans, or introductions, so comb through your contact list and vet all sources before making big decisions or big purchases. Shortly after Jupiter goes retrograde, you may become less optimistic about a business venture, travel, or education. Just when things were starting to turn around, trust the process. It's possible security isn't there, like you think it's a safety net, but really it's a money pit. Or you planned a trip, a romantic excursion, but you don't feel comfortable traveling with your love interest yet. The Scorpio New Moon will drive the main point home. While on the surface, you might be seeking adventure, inside, you want commitment with a twist, like an adventurous home life. It feels like dancing while cooking or watching the game with your person on the couch instead of elbowing your way through a crowded sports bar. If this is about a business partnership, you want creative control and the liberty to work from home so you can play ball with your kids when they get off the bus or work on a side hustle. Set intentions around your life direction and take them seriously over the next 6 months. Now, here's your keywords: partnership, home, and fun. By the end of the month, Venus trine Neptune retrograde will help you pick a lane. If you haven't set intentions, go to a quiet spot, get them out of your head and down on paper. Because here's the truth. When you have a stable partner, romantic or business, who gives you creative freedom or brings out the kid in you, money will start flowing. If you're cooking from home, you're not spending at expensive restaurants. If you're working from home, you're not spending on daycare. Makes sense, right? So Scorpio, much of November is focused on partnerships and money. Here's some suggestions. Face one hidden fear or self-limiting belief. Revisit a partnership or conversation or contract with patience. Get your thoughts down on paper and accept out-of-the-blue support from friends or colleagues. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Sagittarius, November kicks off with a snarl. Your friends may feel more like acquaintances, but you'll only want to talk about the weather if it means planning a hike or outdoor concert. If there's money owed or gossip in the air, take the high road. Perception is confusing. It doesn't always reflect the truth, right? When Uranus moves back into Taurus, you'll rethink your work environment or health routines. Sudden road trips, media projects, or wearables might become of interest. Even if there's unexpected construction or tech glitches, this is your opportunity to think outside of the box. I know a Sag who lives and works from an Airstream. She wakes up in nature every day and lets her surroundings inspire her art. Now, as long as you feel safe, just stay flexible. because the Taurus supermoon on November 5th might end a work relationship, or you could learn someone close to you is sick. With the nodes of fate at play, you might have to return home, take care of your parents, or deal with an old family issue. And this may temporarily put your career on the back burner or require a babysitter. When Mercury goes retrograde, you'll need to take the lead. Conversations with partners about contracts, your career, or parenting style are likely. The best way to use this energy is to have a therapist or astrologer on speed dial. Concerns could bubble up that need your attention. Then Jupiter, your ruler, goes retrograde. Its purpose is to take care of unfinished business like debt and taxes, or any fears you have around trust or even life after death. This is some kind of loss or pain, but Cancer is the super caregiver, so accept her comfort as you work through a home or family matter. The full moon in Scorpio on November 20th opens a 6-month window for healing. There is an opposition to Uranus, which means your schedule or daily responsibilities will change, and this could delay a road trip or project, but the positive aspects to Saturn and Neptune retrograde suggest this is divinely timed. You'll need to get serious about letting go of the past in order to move forward in your home life. As the month closes, Venus and Neptune retrograde will assist. This is a great time to reassign tasks to coworkers, get a pet sitter, and head to a tropical island. Whether you invite some friends or go alone, the purpose is to find peace so you can have compassion for a family member and let go. So Sagittarius, November will likely be emotional. A lot has to do with your work and health, physical and mental. Here are some suggestions. Reevaluate one friendship or professional contact that's become transactional. Prioritize whatever brings peace, not pressure. Handle one financial or trust issue head on, and make time for solitude, travel, therapy, journaling, all of the above. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Capricorn, at the beginning of November, your public image and relationships clash when Venus squares Jupiter. Maybe your spouse won't like how much you're working. Really, you just want out of the house away from nitpicking or tantrums. Or your boss might not appreciate you taking so many sick days when really you're playing golf or chaperoning field trips. When Uranus retrogrades through Taurus, things you do for fun will be called into question. It's possible you realize that expensive dates, gambling, crypto, or childcare are costing you too much time, money, and energy. You'll feel your resources are better spent elsewhere, like organic produce, dance classes, or investing in your IRA, because the Taurus supermoon on November 5th will likely close a chapter involving romance, hobbies, self-employment, or your kids, and this will impact your career, reputation, or role as a parent. With the nodes of fate activated, pour any losses or wins into creative projects like vlogging or fixing up a vintage car, and let go of old beliefs like living in a high-rise with 3 kids and a dog, needing an advanced degree to start a business, or to not date someone because of certain religious or political beliefs. Now, as Mercury retrogrades, you're going to process the change to your schedule. If you're not filling your time in a certain way anymore, how are you spending it? Maybe you work on a side business, or you get on a health kick. You could also adopt a pet. These changes will blend into your social life. Now you'll reconsider your friendships, professional networks, and long-term goals like entrepreneurship, travel, and education. So ask, does this help me make money, and how does it impact my future? Then Jupiter goes retrograde in your opposite sign. In order to heal from a broken relationship or contract, you'll need to do the inner work. You could connect with an astrologer, online community, or someone close to you, like a sister or aunt. Again, dive into those creative projects we talked about. Channeling pain, loss, grief, or betrayal into art is cathartic, and this will help you from spiraling. The Scorpio New Moon on November 20th is an assist. Over the next 6 months, form closer relationships with your friends and colleagues, or again, join a support group. ChatGPT is great, but it doesn't have human empathy. It can't provide emotional connection or clinical judgment. Given the opposition to Uranus, assistance may come at a cost. Use the trine to Saturn, your ruler, and Neptune retrograde to get creative. Headway digest books in 15 minutes and audio tracks. If you don't feel comfortable joining a support group in your neighborhood, road trip to a few towns over, or purchase a subscription to a private group. You could also take on online workshop, definitely journal. By the end of November, your support system will have already helped. When Venus trines Neptune retrograde, your boss could publicly acknowledge you for a record month. Your kid might start paying their phone bill, or an online business could bring in sales. Whatever it is, it will make you feel hopeful and help you keep going. So Capricorn, in November, you're going to have to ask for help. Here's some suggestions. Set a boundary in one partnership or business deal. Let go of one activity that drains your time, money, and energy. Pick one creative project that eases stress, and have a meaningful conversation with at least one person who you trust. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Aquarius, your energy will be scattered at the top of November. A business could interfere with your home life. Travel might cause inbox overflow. Coursework could leave little time for a social life. Or your view of the state of the nation may trigger a dispute with a neighbor or family member. This too shall pass. When Uranus moves back into Taurus, use the kick as motivation to restructure your home life or your life direction. If you've always dreamed of building your own home or having a vacation property, start saving. If you've had tension with a parent or roommate, make peace. If you're still holding on to the past, write new stories. The Taurus supermoon on November 5th will close out a chapter in your family, and this could involve moving away or closer to your parents. You might end or commit to a cause in light of politics, religion, or lifestyle. Given the nodal activity, you could make money on the sale of your home, move your family because your business gets venture capital, or get approved for a mortgage to buy or build your dream home. For some, you may receive an inheritance or close out an estate. When Mercury goes retrograde, take note of who's still checking in. Your boss, your hoverboard buddies, your lover. You'll have to trust your people. You'll be thinking about your legacy, yours and somebody else's. It's possible you rework a will or trust for your kids. You might retire and reorganize your portfolio. If you're transitioning careers or building a business, there could be delayed severance, loans, or debt. Then Jupiter retrogrades. Now you'll need to pick up the pieces. Your work environment could change, or you could get passed over for a raise. If you switch to a doctor out of network or cancel a fitness package, it's going to cost you. Your expense budget might get cut, or a friend or colleague may owe you money and you'll want to collect. Now, this is a delicate situation, one that deserves a talk with your people, because the Scorpio New Moon on November 20th is a fresh start. So over the next 6 months, build your legacy. If one door closes in your career role as a parent, another will open. With the opposition to Uranus, you could unexpectedly move or sell your home. You might become a parent, grandparent, or the matriarch, patriarch of your family. All honors. With the trines to Saturn and Neptune retrograde, there is wish fulfillment through accomplishment, whether the sale of your home, a commission, or inheritance. By the end of the month, you'll feel more hopeful about your career or public image. This is a great time for anyone involved in real estate or construction. Or this is when you heal from generational trauma. You're going to learn something through a mentor, friend, or an author, like how to get paid to travel, prepare a complex trust, or build a business on a shoestring budget. The point is, you're growing up and your life direction is reflecting it. So Aquarius, November's about what you want to be known for. That's for sure. Here's some suggestions. Rethink one major home or family issue. Write down to review, slow down to review friendships and contracts. Be open to what a teacher or friend has to say, and emotionally prepare for a change in your career or social status. If you found value in your forecast, please pay it forward by subscribing to the channel, posting a comment, and clicking on the notification bell. If you want a personal forecast, book a reading. And if you're interested in ongoing support, I have 3, 6, and 12-month coaching packages. Pisces, November starts with a square off between what's owed and what's due. Just wait for it. Venus in Libra means financial harmony or fair relationship. Jupiter in Cancer is about increased acts of kindness. It's possible you think the slate is wiped, but someone else, a relative, a boss, a neighbor, kid, or your lover needs more or you more from them. And in one way or the other, it changes how you see them or how they see you. When Uranus moves back into Taurus, talks slow down and you'll go inward for the next few months. Don't build a hammock for your thoughts. Instead, bike, hike, take astrology classes, or write a cookbook. Whatever relieves pressure from your head as you build safety clauses into contracts or settle disputes with neighbors or siblings. Because the Taurus supermoon on November 5th is a turning point, culmination, or ending involving a contract, writing project, course, or disagreement. It likely has to do with a shared expense or trust issue, but the nodes of fate are at play. So stay focused on your life direction and let go of a commitment or partnership that's been weighing you down. Now, when Mercury goes retrograde, you'll rethink your career or social status. If you let go of a partner, romantic or business, you might legally separate. This will change your career or your living situation. If this involves a parent, someone could move in or out. So do you put everything in storage and travel? Do you go back to school as part of a career transition? Do you remodel or move house to make room for a new addition? Leave me a comment. Even if there are delays, you'll be working through the details, okay? And I get that you might not be the happiest camper when Jupiter retrogrades through your house of joy. This is not a punishment. There's a purpose. It's either to heal something so you can bring happy back or find new ways to have fun. Whether a side business or your kids have been stressing you out or you're serial dating to avoid being alone, think about the long game. What's your most audacious career goal? Do you want to be a forever bachelor or bachelorette? How will you do things differently as a grandparent? Here's a hint. The Scorpio New Moon on November 20th opens a 6-month window in entrepreneurship, world travel, higher learning, or mentorship. There is an opposition to Uranus, so expect sudden change tied to speaking or technology. Maybe you register for an online PhD or prepare for a TED Talk with a global audience. You might start writing a book about sibling rivalry or political injustice. The trines to Saturn and Neptune retrograde in your sign say this is a pivotal moment. You need to take a dream seriously. By the end of the month, even if you take on a business or school loan or put travel on your card, you'll feel more hopeful and vulnerable. Whether this plays out in your career or role as a parent, sharing your life story as a teacher or a mentor is possible. So Pisces, in November, you're gonna hash something out. Here's some suggestions. Cut one shared expense, like a subscription never used. Write one page each day or hire a publicist or ghostwriter. Think about what you want to be known for and take the leap. Travel, learn, or march. So there you have it. I hope you found value in November's Astro ROI. Please do all the things. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and click the notification bell. It helps me keep going more than you know. And we only have 1 month left in 2025. I'm working hard on your 2026 horoscopes too. So until then, happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you back here in December. Enjoy the day.